Hello, everybody. Yeah, I'm gonna take a second to tell relevant parties that I'm on right now. So if you're on, I apologize. Just give me a quick second. Apologies for the hold up. Yeah, if you're on and watching, you will see right now that I've managed to. Give me a second to move myself to a slightly better position. Should be good for now. But yeah, if you can see that I have achieved my long-held dream of making for myself a little stream overlay. So, yeah, just a second. Yeah, again, sorry for the hold up, but yeah, I was up until around 4 in the morning last night working with Canva, which is basically kind of like free online PowerPoint. And what I was doing specifically was basically trying to make a stream overlay, but I repeat myself. Essentially, little boxes around here, little boxes around the game screen, around the chat, and just positioning my logo and my links, and as well as, you know, my head, my entire existence as a funny virtual character. Yeah. Second. Yeah, sorry, I will. Second. Okay. Well, acting under the assumption that people are either not going to show up, period, or something like that, I'm just gonna hop straight into that. So, Hajime Mashitenshi to me and only me as we get straight into Genshin Impact 3.5? I think that's it. Yeah. Hello! If you can't tell, I have my new chat overlay in action right now. As you can see, there's a little bit of a border around everything. Chat is boxed in, I've got links. I stayed up till very late last night, or should I say, very early in the morning to get everything there done. So if you'll give me a second... Thank you! I'm glad my efforts paid off because I put a great deal into them. Yeah. I think maybe if I could add some kind of shading and stuff, it would be even better, but in the end, I'm just splitting hairs. It's definitely not bad at all. Yeah, I'm aware it's no longer hidden, but that was deliberate because the Genshin Twitch event where you get Primogems for streaming, you have to have your you have to have your UID visible. I wasn't particularly happy about that either, and I was actually trying to think of ways to hide it better. But now that that's all done and over and done with, it's kind of... I may as well just send it. So let's check my notices. There we go. Dude, it's sucrose and green sucrose. Okay. Oh, that starts in a couple of days. So I'll do that. Do that next weekend. Yeah. What can I say? I'm funny sometimes. Let me pause this for a second. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, let me try that one more time. Yeah, I'm using best practices and blacking out the window while I check my mail, just to be sure. People can do some kind of funky tomfoolery with mail if you open it up on stream, but yeah, there we go. I got my 600 Primogems from opening my mail, so let's see. Oh wait, I did not mean to do that. I apologize. There we go, just a second. Yeah. OBS is incredibly powerful, but it can be a little clumsy sometimes when you're first getting used to it. So let's see what they added in guide. Yep. They added, oh my goodness, now this is going to be funky. So the first thing I'll do is use these to boost up Alhaitham's artifacts, and then if I get Dehya, poor Dehya, I'll throw some Hero's Wits at her. Oh wow, they have a cute little sound effect too. So while I just click through, how was your day? Has anything interesting happened to you recently that you would be happy or even unhappy to tell all the me in chat right now about? That's 8 already. Wow. 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13, 14. Oh, I forgot about Perilous Trail. 15, 16, and 17. And there we go. And I haven't done that one yet. But I got a pretty huge amount of stuff from that just now. Yeah, but how have things been with you lately? I'm curious. Tell me about yourself, about your life, about your struggles, your joys. Just a second. Gotta pop some stuff up top. Yeah, the way I organize my setup, I might send a picture sometime, or another picture sometime, is incredibly silly. Half of everything is just unboxes. It's such a goofy way to do things. But allow me to just put stuff back together, and I will, yep. I just wanted to get that notification out of the way. There we go. Katsude. Tenku ni wa. Hello, Estaboy13. It's a good evening to you. I'm gonna clam a couple of these, get all the nothing, and then we're gonna get straight into the Dehya rolls. Yeah. The reason, if you checked my schedule, the reason I subtitled this, and oh, right. I forgot to even change the stream title. Silly me. The reason the stream title is what it is because as much as my collector's instincts tell me that I would like to get Dehya, objectively speaking, I think pretty much any other character would be better than her. God forbid. It's sad to say, but yeah. So there's the Dehya story quest that I can't do right now. Interesting. A drink? Can't believe Dehya's alcoholism. I can't believe it. You know, honestly, it's always the strongest people who have the greatest demons they grapple with. Those who would oppose fate. Yeah, guys, they finally put fate in Genshin. Who understands fate? I'm the one who understands fate. I think Scout Mesh is the one who opposes fate. The one who weaves fate. That's Taco Man. And the one who witnesses fate. Sounds like Tenacious Blaze. I think that sounds about right. If I've done my reading and my research properly. Yeah. It's just a victory. But yeah. Try out some characters. It's really funny that the test run has only 3. Because both Kale and Barber are just characters you get. But yeah, I'm gonna pick up a little more. Check this out. Yeah. Yeah, they should let you have C6 Bennett for this test run. Yeah. Just rub it in. Yeah, if I get C6 Bennett, by the way, if I get a 6 Bennett Stella Fortuna, I'm activating his constellation, by the way. Sorry to tell you. I know that makes me a literal inhuman monster deserving of nothing but the absolute worst treatment. But you know, some people can't help it. At the very least, I refuse to accept responsibility for my decisions and the way I live my life. Is that irresponsible? Yes, it's incredibly irresponsible. What kind of live streamer would be if I wasn't a terrible, terrible example for the children? So, there we go. Bennett and Zhongling swept. So now let's retry that funny Sino test run. I remember when he was first coming out and they did his test run and he just absolutely swept. Sino is a really cool character. The one thing about him is just that he doesn't have any kind of shielding or poise or anything, so you get kind of clowned on in the sense of If you take hits, and it's really easy to take hits, because you get the most damage out of him by using his E skill within a certain window, and if you're dodging, you can miss it. If you take damage, you can also miss it. But yeah, you see... Yeah. Sino is so cool. He is, objectively speaking, one of the coolest characters in the game. I think it's really hard to dispute that in any way. Even without his crazy overpowered weapon, his damage and pretty much everything is just off the charts. It's really hard to hate Sino. Especially since... Yeah, well, it's actually a little different. Because there are a couple of things that Razor kind of does better. In a weird sort of sideways way. Because what kind of makes Sino a 5-star, at least on his face, is that he doesn't have any split damage or split scaling. Unlike Razor, who, even during burst, he's still trying to deal physical damage. The most you get is just the attack speed bonus from burst, making your physical hits faster. The Electro is just a bonus. Sino just deals pure Electro, but the thing about it is that, because of the way Bennett works, you can infuse Pyro on his sword while still doing Electro hits with his Burst Wolf, and then with his stand, and then you can just trigger a bunch of overloads and a bunch of stuff. Yeah, she is... I wonder what artifact set they're gonna give her. Tenacity of the Millilith? Okay, that's silly. That's incredibly silly. What are her cons? Yeah, that's funny. She only gets real HP scaling. She only gets real HP scaling with cons, which I guess makes it a little better that she's literally a standard banner character. Let's see. Her scaling. Yeah. She gets a little HP bonus, but it's not that much. You get so much more just from that one con, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, Razor is a physical DPS with an Electro bonus, but you can do funny reaction stuff by just infusing him with whatever you want, which is pretty cool, honestly. Yeah, Beacon of the Reed Sea, she says no shields, no shields. Let's just go at this with just D and see where things go. Okay. Bam! Yeah, even like this, she isn't dealing great damage. There we go. We get the Dehya punch. Okay. Okay, that's a little confusing. Okay, how do you... Okay. What's complicated to me is that her burst... How do you... Okay. Flame-Mane's Fist. Elemental Skill, and the Roaring Barrage. Okay, so... All you have to do is basically mash normal and E to make her attack faster. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's complicated because she's not really supposed to be a damage character. Well, she's supposed to be... You're supposed to kind of be able to switch her into deal some damage while focus on having some off-field capability, but it's just not great. There's nothing she really enables, which is a shame because her design is so good. And her character is in... She's one of the few legitimately well-written female characters, in my opinion, which is... feels a little crazy to say, but she's unironically heroic. She isn't incredibly complicated, but she has an interesting plotline to her, and her design is just cool, which makes it all the more the shame that she's just really not very good. For what it's worth, most reliable reports, quote-unquote, say that Dehya's going to get her own artifact set next version, along with, weirdly enough, Child. Child's artifact set is going to be kind of like the passive on his unique Polar Star weapon, which is to say that when he deals damage with his normals, his charges, his skill, and his burst, he gets both attack and hydro damage bonus that increases severely in value when you have all of them. Oh yeah, her E should last much longer. And the craziest thing is just that her E just loses all activity when she's in her burst state, which means she has a really, really hard time getting energy. It's pretty ridiculous, all things considered. Yeah. It's really complicated because, you know, people ask all sorts of questions about, essentially, okay, was Dehya purposely gimped because of something like racism? Was she just badly designed, or they couldn't figure out how to make her good, so they put her on standard banner as sort of a method of last resort, sort of, if we can't make her great, she's at least better than Chi-Chi. She arguably is worse than Chi-Chi, at least right now. And just be like, okay, people will tolerate a character being mediocre as long as they're not going on them for just limited banners showing up all the time. For what it's worth, I'm still rolling for her, because given that she's going to be a standard banner character, she's never going to get a rerun. There's a chance that I never ever get her, no matter how many 50-50s I lose, and she's going on standard. Which means I may as well at least try for her. Because, like I said, I don't care how good characters are at this point if I'm going to get them all eventually. Oh, Scarlet, it's complicated. He's not amazing, but he's good. He's a lot of fun to use, too, just because he can fly. Honestly, I would say that his exploration aspects, just because he can fly, are honestly a lot better than his combat aspects, because he's good, and it's nice that he deals his damage regardless of reactions. So just slotting him into an open world exploration team works really well, because you don't need to worry about... he won't deal as much damage as in his pure teams, but what he gets from team comps is comparatively a lot less. Just because it's pure animo damage, all you really use is shred. And he's a lot of fun with that. I think the thing with Dehya being waifu ever meta is complicated, because like I said, she is apparently, though we don't know for sure yet, getting a dedicated artifact set in the next version. But in terms of the sort of standard waifu bait characters, she has some kind of sort of gap moe qualities, if you know what I'm talking about, in the sense that, she's this cool mercenary, but also she likes makeup, and she has a gal pal and stuff like that. But even then, given the audience of the game, I think that, honestly, just... that can be understood just as much as possible appeal to a female demographic who may identify with her, as in like her, or maybe even self-insert. I've seen that a couple of times. I think, honestly, the best, most parsimonious option to me is just... they were trying to make a new kind of character, a new sort of archetype, essentially non-shield, non-healing defensive character. And they just didn't land. They didn't know how to actually make it work right. Because she apparently just isn't good. The thing about it is that there's nothing to really convert something like that into just offense, because Zhongli isn't really a pure offensive buffer, but you do get some shred with the shield, and if you're using Tenacity of the Millith, which I don't, you can get an attack buff from his pillar, if your pillar just doesn't get blown up within 2 seconds of putting it down, which is whatever happens when you fight a boss. Balware. They added a continuation of the really annoying Little Quair and Sun Yu questline where you can permanently remove that commission by getting Sun Yu to move to Fontaine. No joke. But I wonder if we'll get a Balware fight or something. Oh, okay. Come on. Get smacked. There we go. Yeah, if I had deathmatch on Zhongli, it would have been even more of a sweep. But right now I have deathmatch on Sino just because he's in my world exploration team, so to speak. But yeah, it is really fun just being able to delete enemies with a big rock coming from the sky. It's a shame that it's usually a DPS loss in Abyss, but it's honestly a lot more efficient in the open world just because its energy cost is basically nothing, and you never need that much damage. And if you were to set up a bunch of bursts, you would have a real pain getting them back. So, there we go. And now it's time to cash my check, and then toss a bunch of intertwines at the Dehya banner. And no matter what happens, I will be left with the strong sense that they were wasted. Such is life. Yeah, but Asta Boy 13, I already asked Tenacious Blaze and received, to my chagrin, no answer. Anything going on in your neck of the woods? Anything particularly good or bad happen to you that you like to tell the class about? Let's see. Well, Let's do some quick maths. And by quick maths, I mean, actually, no, I can actually do this. Come on, time for the long division in my head. 96, that's 6. 112, that's 7. So, 7. No, I did that math wrong too. Now I feel like a complete and utter imbecile. You see, I'm a fool. You're starting work tomorrow. What kind of place are you working at? Oh, interesting. Yeah, it can be hard to get back into it after a long absence. That's what happened to me when I worked over the summer. It was just sort of like, oh, I don't entirely know what I'm doing. 1, 2, 1, 7, 8, 6. 76 plus 38. 76 plus 38. That's 104. So I have 105. Yeah, what can I say? Men belong in the kitchen. Interesting. Have you had any experience with cooking Caribbean before? Let's add some text, actually. Okay. Oh, this is huge! I did not intend that at all. Okay, come on, size. Come on, size. Where can I decrease size? Oh, wow, that's crazy. OBS is not giving me an obvious option on how to decrease the size of text. This is literally so sad. Oh, 256. That's silly. Okay, that'll work. Okay. Oh, that's also not great. Oh, yeah. One time, I think it was Caribbean. It was my freshman year of high school. The other guys in the choir, the men's choir, were putting on. Yeah, see? Oh, that's funky and silly. Let's change the properties of this text source. Ooh, okay. Pity 1. Here we go. And now, yeah. That's why I left a bunch of little space between my head and all my links so I could write stuff there. At least that's what I'd like to say. I think I just had a hard time. My aesthetic proclivities were tentative. But like I was saying, they made some Caribbean food. There was a guy with experience with Caribbean. Just saying. Thank you. I just said a quick little prayer. Little religious here. Yeah. I saw a funny video of people just absolutely nuking people with Avada Kedavra, unforgivable curse, which was very silly. Oh, Lion's Roar, that's quite nice. That'll give me some nice refines. Okay. There we. Oh, I shouldn't have skipped that. It's a Dragon's Bane refine too. That's really cool. Yeah, I've been wanting Dragon's Bane refines for a while now, actually. Yeah, because it just homes in on enemies and just insta-kills them, but apparently giving them an instant painless death with the magical equivalent of a gun is more evil than turning them into exploding barrels and blowing them up alive along with their friends to give them a painful death by fire. But yeah, this is what my Hu Tao has been using for a while, but it's stayed at low refine, so it's nice to get a little bit more. And my Kaching has been using this sword. Yeah, exactly. I do find it funny that, they just didn't make any kind of morality system. They were just kind of like, people will get mad at you, but they won't react past saying some mean things when they see you do it and immediately forgetting once that's over. Okay. Come on. Okay, just a second. Pity is now 11. Isn't that crazy? There's got to be a better way to do this. Yeah. I think it would be interesting to make something. I think honestly the Harry Potter setting might not even be perfectly fit for it because world building was never a huge priority. But essentially a world building heavy magic RPG. That could be really cool. And I guess you could say that's kind of true of something like The Witcher. Dude, it's Eye of Perception. So cool. Another refine on my level 90 R2 Eye of Perception. For all those times I want to use the eye against Electro Slimes. Here we go. Oh, yeah, 2. I've been really lucky. I wonder if that's stream luck. I wonder if they just sense that I'm using OBS and just hand it to me. In that case, maybe you should start streaming. Maybe you're being given a sign from God. Yeah. The closest thing was Grindelwald and Dumbledore being in love. That's really where it started and ended. There we go. Actually, that's R5 now, but yeah, here we go. Big physical catalyst damage. The silliest way to fight in this game. Yeah. One of the clips I posted recently is a lot of it is just me talking about the gray morality that you get in Genshin, particularly compared to Zelda. And that Ganondorf, like, you can sympathize with him, but you're just not intended to. You know, that's entirely fair. Yeah. Yo! Not the random Beto not on the banner with the... I have her C6. Convert? She becoming Lutheran or something? It's crazy. Yeah. This is gonna be very silly to say, but many years ago, someone made a spell combat Roblox game that was really good, actually. You had to do it by interacting with the chat box, by typing in the spells you wanted to use. And the best way to do it was to just copy one spell you wanted to spam and just paste it in chat. The other sat greatsword, that's kind of crazy. It's at least a little loopy and silly. So I guess that sat greatsword is going to be R2 now. It is kind of funny that I haven't gotten a single banner character yet. I wonder who I would get, because I could take Barbara Cons even though I will not use her. I would appreciate a C6 Bennett. I would love the opportunity to make certain people in the audience squirm by making a C6 Bennett live on stream. But... Wait, was that? Wait, have I been rolling on the weapon banner? Okay, I wasn't. I was just confused. Okay, I think so, because I've been getting... Have I? Okay. If I was rolling on the weapon banner, I don't know what I'll do. Like, I'm pretty sure... Was I rolling? Was I... Can someone scroll back in time to see if I was rolling on the weapon banner? Oh my goodness! Are you freaking kidding me? Oh my goodness! Ugh! Object... R.I.P. Bozo. Don't worry, it'll be on the Twitch VODs. You can quit me raging anytime you want once this stream is done. Oh my goodness. No, I'm just gonna keep that. And one of these days, when I start actually rolling for weapons, God forbid, I'll be able to use that pity for something. Well, okay. This is truly one of the moments of all time. Of all the things that have happened to me in my short life, this is definitely one of them. Yeah. $80 wasted. Oh yeah, Barbara Constellation. Oh, so that's why I got so many sacrificial greatswords and Dory. She's not even on. Okay, I'll take that. Top up? Well, I never. So I was getting. Yeah. Oh, like actually, yeah. I'm not even complaining. It was nice to get a Dragon's Bane refine. No comment. Time to note down that I now have 40 weapon banner pity to use next time a weapon comes up on a banner that I want. You know, I'm gonna chalk this up to the fact that I'm actually mildly inebriated right now. The dorm had a 21 plus event, and they were serving high quality wine, and I had more than a little. It was pretty nice. Yeah. So that'll put me at 21. This is just such a silly way for things to happen. 40 Fates arguably blasted. Oh, 2 Calles. I'm not complaining. God bless. There we go. Constellations for calling. What? Okay. Yeah. So in other words, for as long as you stay on, you'll get to see me with somewhat limited mental faculties as a result of me being both severely sleep deprived and literally inebriated. I wanted to mention earlier, but I thought it would make me an even worse example for the children for me to say that I was on here a little bit sauced, that the first time I was using my new actual stream overlay, I was hitting the sauce. Yeah. What a silly way to live my life. There we go. Pity now at 42. Yeah. Yeah, once I get all the characters at C0 and I can start rolling for weapons, I'll be really glad to know that I have Pity waiting for me. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Barbara. Then, yeah, college is a silly place. What can I say? All I can say is that'll make for a really funny clip. I'm sure that the YouTube algorithm will be more than happy to pick up on me raging because I spent a bunch of fates on the literal wrong banner. Yeah. The 10 Genshin Impact fans browsing random tabs to see clips to watch will be highly impressed. And oh, that's C6 Barbara. There we go. Okay. Let's keep on going. 72. I mean 62. But no, no comment on that one. That one's just a wash. We're gonna send that one. Barbara's the new Yanfei. Just always shows up. In that case, let's go for the... Oh! Who is it? Oh, there we go! There we go! There we go! There we go. God be praised. Christ be praised. Holy Spirit be praised. That was at 63, actually. Which means... Yeah, that was at 63, which means I'm actually at 9 pity now. 9 pity on event character banner. And Dehya at 63 on February 28th and Anno Domini 2023. Dude. Lord be praised. There we go. Got a bunch of Kale cons. No Bennett cons. You know, honestly, that's why I got Dehya. Because if I didn't get Dehya, I would have kept rolling. And I would have had a pretty strong chance of getting Bennett. I did not see that they made Clash Royale woke. Tell me the story. Tell me what happened. But yeah. If I hadn't gotten Dehya, I would have kept rolling, and then Tenacious Blaze would have had to watch me C6 Bennett live on stream, and he would have had a brain aneurysm. I would have killed one of my only reliable stream watchers. God forbid. I would have been such a horrible streamer. I know, right? I would have shed a single tear. There we go. The C6 Barbara. Oh, she just said the line, the Japanese version of the line where she says she wants to be as tall as his sister. Magic Archer was gay? I mean, we already knew Archer was gay. All you have to do is read Fate Stay Night. He and Kukulin are kissing. There we go. Barbara. Then we get our Kale. How many cons? Oh, wow. She's going to be at C5. That's quite nice. Floral brush. Gift of the Woods. Oh, nice. I mean, the thing about it is that I'm not sure I'll ever actually use Kale, because Knight is just better than her in arguably every way, except maybe if you're trying to make Swirl work for an Aggravate team, because Knight is... Okay. So, in Fate Canon, and now we're getting into the drunk Fate rant part of the night. This is truly clippable material. Yeah, maybe from now on I'll just keep a permanent pity counter. That'll be a funny thing to do. Well, you have to understand that as a STEM major, he has much more brain power to spend on language-related things. For me, I spend so much time reading that it's hard for me to actually do reading for fun. Because, I do economics, political science, theology, and that's just all text. It's just all stuff you download, stuff you have on paper, and you just read. But yeah, this is a very mid C6, so I'm not really mad about not getting it. Well, I mean, it's a visual novel with more text than the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy. Something can be good and still be kind of strenuous. The two aren't mutually exclusive. You know, if good things couldn't be strenuous, nobody would work out. That's what I'm gonna say. Dude, it's Dehya with a makeup case, and now I have a huge amount of heroes' wits. Yeah, but as the good Lord once said, did he? I don't know that Bible quote. I don't think it's a Bible quote. As the good Lord said, you should work out, and when you're not working out, you should be reading Fate Stay Night. Yeah. Let's see. Unstilting Sucker. Interesting. Yeah. It means blood. Yeah, I'm happy I got Dehya. I don't care that she's kind of garbo. She's a pretty cool character. So, yeah, look at me and all my claymores. Guys, what should we put on her for now? I'm thinking the bell. Thinking we give her the bell for now. Should I give her my R5 bell or my R3 bell? That's what I'm asking. What can I say? Definitely the bell. Maybe every time I log in, I'll just switch her between R5 and R3 just to be silly. Let's go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, exactly. The funny thing about it is that arguably she's one of the few characters who could even make any kind of use for it. Because she doesn't really need to be unshielded. Unless you're having her signature weapon, which obviously cannot work in tandem with the bell passive because it's a different weapon equipped. And it triggers by taking damage, so it can still take damage and trigger everything. No, it is so funny that Dehya might be the first character who can actually make any kind of use out of the bell. It is the single funniest thing. But let's see. Yeah, let's ascend her real quick with the Sandgrease poop as I got here. Get a blue Fate and toss it at the standard banner to see what God grants me. There we go. Let's take her to level 40 just for fun. Poetry and what? Yeah. If you're accusing me of having a poetic temperament, I fear I can only plead incredibly guilty. Yeah. But no, the funny thing is that it actually looks pretty good on her. Of all the characters who could get any use out of the bell, it's honestly kind of cool that it's her, because it's got a bunch of gold accents on it, and she literally has golden hair, golden attributes, and it's a cool kind of blackish metal sword. You know what? Let's be funny. Let's level up the bell right now. At least enough to see what it looks like with its second color palette. There we go. A bunch of 3-star bows I will never use in my life. There we go. There we go. It's taken such a short time just because I got so many weapons, because I rolled on the weapon banner. I rolled on the freaking weapon banner! Yeah, every time Yeah, this is gonna be a lesson for the kids. Every time I consume any meaningful amount of alcohol, I get some kind of mishap in Genshin. You know, I might. Oh, now it's white. That's actually still cool. That's some cool color contrast you got going on there. Can we do it? We might have enough materials to just straight up take the bell to 90 right now. If I can do it, I'm doing it. We're getting the bell to level 90 right here, right now on stream. Okay. Tossing it straight in. We're leveling up Dehya as far as we can level her. We're leveling up the bell as far as we can level it up, and we're leveling up Dehya as far as we can level her. Because tonight, we're lunatics. We're psychopaths. Let's see. Double the product. Poor Mona. 2 people have the good weapon oh my god, that was really nice. Have the good passive. The bell 100% deserves max. It deserves nothing less than the absolute maximum. But, there we go. Keep getting. Nice. But, Dehya... Yeah, we're not getting to max right now. Actually, let's see. We might be able to do something incredibly silly. Let's check what materials are there today. We might be able to get it to maximum depending on whether tiles are in right now. I don't think they are, but they might be. I think tiles are Monday. Let's see. Tiles are Monday. I won't be able to do it until Thursday. But there we go. We got the Dehya, the very silly Dehya Claymore. I am not sacrificing Wolf's Gravestone to the Bell. I might consider it for the meme if it were still low level. But my Wolf's Gravestone is... Actually, no. Yeah, I'm going to sacrifice WGS. WGS to the Bell. In fact, I think I already might have. So, suffice it to say, I already did your will, Volenbon. Sacrificial Fragments. That's getting leveled up, too. Yeah, it's the other WGS. It's just kind of like how turkey is the other white meat. So, we are real quick just gonna see what else we can refine. Is that... Yeah. No, that's just another one that's full. But yeah, we got a couple weapons, which will give me plenty of things to throw my ludicrous amount of weapon experience crystals into. And now what that means is that it'll be more difficult for me to try to get Ike or Shenna later this patch. I'm honestly going to go for Shenhe because she's so unpopular that she might never get rerun again, at least anytime soon. So I honestly feel compelled to go for her, just because I can fit her into the Morgana team I already have as a sub for Diona and make her work pretty well. But as for now, Final Fantasy 13-2 Lightning Returns. In what context was that reference made? What was I... Did I say something that made you think of Final Fantasy with Lightning Returns? Just the fact that I was going for Shenhe and that she's unpopular and that Final Fantasy 13-2 Lightning Returns... No, it wasn't Lightning Returns 13-3, because I know 13-2 was one with Sarah Ferrin and Noelle Villiers, which is a very stupid and silly thing for me to know, considering I've never played a Final Fantasy game besides 6, which I did enjoy before GBA for iOS crashed. But, yeah, I only heard bad things about it, and that they made Lightning's design hornier for that game and that game alone to appeal to a certain audience, and they also introduced a new god who you had to fight at the end, and they made it kind of a silly version of Majora's Mask. It's all very silly stuff. It's just... I can only assume it was bad, simply because I hear nothing about it. Some people talk about Final Fantasy XIII in conflicting terms, but at least it means people have thoughts about it. And there we go. There's my kind of sort of... There's my desert team. And there's Dehya with the bell. Dehya with the bell. Dehya with the Claymore Slap and the Vibe Check. Dude, did you see that? Dehya just punched that granny. I can't use her anymore. Can't believe it. There we go. But let's see. Dehya, actually, I'll show you something real quick. You may have not been watching. I know that Tenacious Blaze wasn't watching when I did Abyss. Yeah. You know what? Let's do that. That's clippable material right there. I wonder how fast I can get there. The fastest way to do it would just be by spamming these vaguely movement-related abilities. I can do it in like 30 seconds. It's been like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, this is... Oh, 13. I did not mean to do that. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 3... Oh, I'm stupid. It's not daytime. They're not here. Okay. So in that case, we are setting it to daytime because my lovely and high-minded aristocratic viewers wanted to see Dehya punch children. So. Okay. Okay, so which one should Dehya punch, Esterbor13? Which child do you want her to punch? Maybe she could even get 2. I position her like this. Go for the absolute vibe check. 1, 2, 3. Now I feel bad. Yeah. It is interesting that, you know, they don't... I don't know. Maybe it'll be in a character story or something, but just... She has this cool gauntlet. It's the arm she uses for punching. But as far as I know, there isn't any lore on the punching arm specifically, or the glove. I think I made this joke before, that it's probably like the Nintendo Power Glove that gives you secret superpowers if you're willing to handle the indignity of wearing the thing. But that's the arm she proposes to let somebody cut off in exchange for a hostage exchange, and the Archon quest I am currently in and have not beaten. But yeah. Dehya needs some materials. Dude, bring back the Power Glove. I'm sure someone's been able to make it actually work with modern tech. But you see, we're going to do something called a pro gamer move, and that's use this Hyper Bloom team to absolutely melt Perpetual Array, because New Abyss is not back yet. And I actually forgot. Now I can get Alhaitham's artifacts all up. But yeah. I thank the good Risen Lord for giving me a 50-50 victory on a great Dehya. Oh, HP. Flat HP. Could be worse. You don't expect good stats out of a Dandro. Let's see. There we go. What are we gonna get? Attack, flat. Not terrible, not great. In the end, it's the main stats I'm concerned with, so let's see what we get. Oh, crit damage! There we go. We got a good roll. Yeah, it's honestly really nice how cracked Alhaitham is, especially since he's just actually fun to use. More ER, I like that too. And then, let's see, I wonder if we'll get crit rate. That would be really nice. Oh, more energy recharge. That's not bad either, because Alhaitham can have kind of oppressive energy recharge requirements. It can be hard to get him to get his burst back on time, which you really, really want to do. So, let's try this real fast. But, yeah, but no. This team absolutely melts all these characters. Yeah, just right now, I see how quickly it's just getting absolutely melted. It's honestly ludicrous. It didn't even finish its first attack or put down any markers. It's just... Quick Bloom is an insane team comp. It's honestly kind of unfair that something that strong is even allowed to exist. But I guess you do need kind of a little bit of power creep as a necessary evil for Gasha to even exist. But yeah, either way, we're going to be silly and actually level up. We're going to level up Dehya. I don't care how unrewarding it is, and how objectively how it might be an objective waste of time, quote unquote. We're gonna make Dehya as strong as she can get. She's gonna be weaker than Xinyan. She's gonna be weaker than my barely built Xinyan, even with a high level investment. And I'm still building her anyway. It's a matter of rebellion against the evil, unfeeling nature of the world. In that way, I'm actually a lot like the Fatui. Yeah, Genshin is a sequel to Link's crossbow training. If you kill the Stalord at the end of Link's crossbow training exclusively while... And you have to actually set up a webcam on your Wii to make it work, because they have to be able to tell that it's going on. If you do all your shots from behind you... Just a second, I'll be right back. Excuse me, what is it?
I'm just checking in on you, bro.
Okay, I'm alright. I'm doing something.
You don't have time for a chat?
I'm busy right now, sorry.
What are you up to?
I'm streaming video games for some friends.
Oh, I don't know.
Anonymously, so please don't say my name right now. I can send you a link if you'd like.
Yeah, shoot it over.
Yeah. Next time. I don't want to keep him any longer, but I'll tell you for future reference. See you around. That was just another guy from the dorm. Simple as. Yeah, the fact that Dehya, even though she doesn't shield or heal, the fact that she has a really high poise buff, and to be fair, Xingqiao's burst gives that too, but not nearly as strong, does give her a lot of value in an interesting kind of way. So the important thing right now is, let's honestly see how much we can get back. So I will say, it is not exactly the easiest of things to charge up your burst when you kill something so fast, because it means you're not dealing hits with your skills, getting stuff back. It is objectively silly that the biggest issue I have in dealing with the world boss perpetual array right now is that I'm literally killing it too fast. It's ridiculous, but I'm at a painfully high level of artifacts right now. So let's see who I should be leveling. I think the only character who has artifacts on them ready to level, who doesn't actually have them leveled right now, is Zhao, I believe. I got him a relatively decent Vermilion set, also with a funny Maiden's Beloved hat. No, just imagine, he's got all this purple regalia, and instead of putting on his funny Yaksha mask, he puts on this women's hat with a hat pin. Oh, I'm not doing that. Believe me, I am not doing that. Yeah, have a good night, Tenacious Blaze. I'm glad that you were able to make it. I'm gonna stay on for a little while longer, even if everyone else hops off, just because I wanna use my resin at least, and maybe do a bit more stuff in the world. Yeah, take care, Mr. Tenacious Blaze. I'm glad you were able to hop on and be a part of the Mushin Eigen community. Yeah, we are many. We are legion. So... interesting. It might be... Actually, I can show you something real quick, Mr. Estaboy13. It's that... Dehya needs these funny sand grease pupas. You know, call me a clown, a loser, even an elitist. An elitist loser clown. But I've got to say that the best Weezer album is Pinkerton. I'll defend that opinion to the grave. Yeah. The thing about Pinkerton is that there's a lot of interesting kind of self-awareness to it. And sometimes it wallows a little. But a lot of it comes from legitimate self-reflection by Rivers on what he was going through in his life and what he was doing to other people, sort of unhealthy patterns he was living through. And one of the examples I'd give, because Blue, which came right before it, is very naive, and there's a lot of love and beauty to be found in that, you know. Only in Dreams is inherently a very naive song. It's about going for an idealized version of romance and still holding on to it literally in your dreams when it doesn't work out in real life. Even though you could say that's objectively unhealthy, and frankly it is objectively unhealthy, there's a certain beauty in that youthful naivete. But when you get to Pinkerton, basically that childish dream just dies. In a certain kind of way. And the big example is that on Blue, Weezer's first album, there's a song called No One Else. And it's basically this idea about being very possessive of your girlfriend, and it's just totally unironic and very naive. He's just like, oh yeah, my girlfriend, you know, when other guys are around, she puts her makeup on on the shelf. She wants to be pretty for nobody but me. And maybe there's some introspection going on there, but it's sort of crusty in bed where my schema is sort of, Pinkerton is the self-reflecting album and Blue is the album where Rivers Cuomo just becomes an adult and learns what real life and real love is and what real maturity is. But and to be fair, a lot of this is just because literalgenius.com has a comparison between these two specific songs, but with no one else on Blue, on Pinkerton, you have a very similarly named song called No Other One. And No Other One is just this unabashed banger rock song, and it goes really hard and has a bunch of energy, but the lyrics are really melancholic. It's about an explicitly toxic relationship that you can't get out of due to desperation and fear of being alone. Yeah. No, there is no other one. No, there is no other one. I can't have any other one, though I never could with one. Essentially, he just doesn't want to be alone, and a lot of the other lyrics deal with that. And it's a very similarly named song to a song that was, arguably a toxic, maybe misogynistic idea of romance. But this is Rivers saying, you know what? I have problems. One of my problems is that I endure toxic behavior and act toxic myself. I get into relationships that are bad for everyone involved because I'm more afraid of being alone than I am of doing the wrong thing. And there's a bit of naivete on Pinkerton, but a lot of it, in my opinion, is essentially a joke that Rivers is playing on himself, that he's laughing with you, the listener, at himself, at his old, even current bad behavior, and saying, I could and should be a bit better, but until I get better, I may as well laugh. And every now and then, I try my hand at making music, at least writing lyrics for songs I'd like to actually put down and compose when I have some time. And frankly, I'm not a good enough humorist to make it funny. But that idea of just sort of trying to kind of laugh at yourself, not taking yourself too seriously, as saying, sometimes I do the wrong thing, and the best thing you can do is recover. Just say, it sucks that I did that, all I can do is be better. And just, being honest, being full disclosure, saying, I'm a flawed human being who has done bad things, take me as you will. One of the songs that I'm trying to figure out a way to release right now, you might have heard of it. If you know me, I might have sent it to you. It's a song about a time back in sophomore year of high school where I basically poked a bear and tried to provoke someone, said something mean to them, and because of that, I literally got chased. Yeah, I really love Pinkerton. For what it's worth, one of our friends talked about how he didn't understand Pinkerton until he broke up with his girlfriend. How he couldn't understand, essentially, staying in a toxic relationship, developing toxic personal tendencies until he actually broke up with someone, and then Pinkerton just clicked for him. Yeah, Pinkerton is a bit hard to stomach because some of it is a little hard to stomach because whether you see it as naive or as self-deprecation, it can be kind of hard because he talks about, being really thirsty, like in a romantic kind of way, and it's just sort of, wow, this is in a lot of detail, maybe a bit more detail than I'd like to hear, but, to a certain extent, you have to respect the honesty in and of itself. But, like I was saying before, there are plenty of good things that are hard to stomach sometimes, that are difficult, like exercise, and I'd say the same thing about Pinkerton, really. But what I was saying about the song I wrote is that it's about literally being chased into the bathroom because I insulted someone and they rightfully got mad at me. And just thinking back on that incident that was it was over 6 years ago now, I'm thinking, what could I have done differently? Maybe I'd like to reconcile, but do I even have the right to at this point? I certainly didn't act maturely in that situation. I might have been a literal high school sophomore, but you can explain bad behavior sometimes, but you can never excuse it. At least not fully. That's just a really short path to living your life in a really irresponsible, really cruel way. You know, even if I end up being a cruel person, even if I end up being an irresponsible person, I feel that I can at least be honest about it, that I can not try to defend my own bad behavior, that when I do bad things, I can just admit them and strive to be better. Now, I'm getting weirdly deep into it for a funny, silly, drunk Genshin stream where I accidentally tossed 40 fates at the wrong banner. But, yeah, it's not as difficult as you think. It's like a muscle, or in a certain sense, it's like the metaphor of the brain is a muscle. You can make it work just by working it out. If you pay attention to the lyrics when you listen to music, if you pay attention to compositional choices, things like keys and melody, or even just speed and volume, you can identify a lot of interesting aspects of songs that you might otherwise just kind of ignore. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes, and the more rewarding it is. You know, sometimes you get into a situation of choice paralysis where people are like, oh, when the author says the curtains were blue, that's because the curtains were blue, yada, yada, yada. And besides that being, you know, may I say, a fundamentally anti-intellectual attitude and approach, I think it can allow you to just forget that it is possible, in my opinion, very rewarding to try to think hard about art. Even art that isn't typically considered as good, like, God forfend, Genshin Impact. Goodness knows I've done way too much quote-unquote analysis of this game and its themes. You can get a good degree out of it just by... Just a second. You can get a good degree out of it just by practicing your media analysis skills on it. Even if what you get out of it is saying, you know, they aren't really consistent with their themes. They aren't thinking too hard about it. You can at least improve your ability to understand whether media is quote-unquote trying or not. Excuse me? Yes, what is it? Don't say my name on my screen. Yeah.
Oh, can I say hi?
Yeah, you can say hi, just don't say my name.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Hello!
Hello.
Some random guys from the dorm have come to say hi.
Oh, is there someone in the chat?
There are a couple of my friends
Oh,
from
wait,
back
am I
home
on
who are
screen?
playing in chat.
Yes.
You're not on screen right now. I don't use Facecam for anything. I prefer to stay anonymous.
Oh,
Hey,
can
how
I
I'm completely anonymous right now, so please don't say my name.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just streaming some, you know, funny, dumb weeb video games for some friends back home.
Are you
random
chatting
people.
with them, or are they chatting back with you?
Is
on
your
this?
camera on?
Camera's not on. I have a funny, silly cartoon avatar that I puppeteer with my
Wait.
facial movements.
Wait, if I put my face on, will it give me one?
Well, you could try puppeteering it yourself if you sat down in this chair right now and move your face around. It might be a little different because your face is different than mine. But if you... Actually, no, I don't think it works. I think it's calibrated to my face right now. But maybe later, another time, you could come in.
Oh,
But
I got
yeah,
it!
See?
Yeah!
Like, if you can't tell... Yeah, the idea behind it, and this is going to sound incredibly silly because it kind of is...
Yeah.
I tried to, and I only had somewhat limited resources. I wanted to...
Yeah.
The guy sitting in the chair was scratching his arm right now, by the way. But I wanted to make a sort of quote-unquote dark, sort of like sinister but good guardian angel character based vaguely off of, like if you've read Genesis, the cherubim who guards the gates of Eden with a fiery sword.
Yeah.
But essentially the idea is that
Yo, this
he...
is cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, actually. It's... And, you know, I don't want to say that I'm a scruffy or slobby person, because suffice it to say that even despite the fact that you cannot see me, I am very, very well dressed right now. You know, it's nice to be able to just put up a picture and manipulate it instead of having to deal with the idea of, you know, having to get all dolled up and gussied up just to stream.
Yeah.
You know, that's the reason a lot of people use avatars like this, that it just reduces the amount of effort they have to do do anything really. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun streaming.
Who's
Who's
this guy?
now. Oh, they're just... I don't want to say too much because that would be a little unfair for me to put their public information out there.
Oh,
But
no,
they're
not
just
that stuff.
they're just friends and friends of friends. It's the stream
Oh,
chat that
yeah.
Twitch puts up.
Oh,
Twitch
it's
puts up.
Twitch.
Yeah, it's Twitch.
Yeah.
I'm running it through OBS, which is Open Broadcasting Studio.
Oh, okay.
And it allows you to basically just stream to Twitch or YouTube. Right now I'm doing Twitch because
Yeah.
my idea essentially is if I
Wait, is
remember, don't say my
is the
name.
game in the background?
Yeah, the game's in the background, so I
Oh,
just
and
switch
this
windows
is the
around.
Twitch stream.
Yeah, so I can look at the overlay and see how it looks to people right now. But yeah,
That's cool.
I've never actually explained it, so maybe this is the time I do it. But the name Mushin Eigen, it's in Japanese name order, so Mushin is essentially the family name, as if
Yeah.
this character does not have a family, and Eigen is the given name. And Mushin is a complicated term. I accidentally stole it from Sekiro.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Dude,
highest
I
combat skill tree in Sekiro is named Mushin Arts. But it essentially means kind of, in a literal sense, it means something like heartless or mindless. But it can
Yeah.
also mean innocent, or in a funny sense, shamelessly begging for money, is a slang term that referred to the behavior of Buddhist monks.
Yeah.
And Eigen essentially means source of love.
Yeah.
So in other words, I could be either an innocent source of love or a heartless source of love. I'd like to, for the 2 or 3, 4 or 5 people who ever turn into my streams, be a source of love for them, be someone who can cheer them up on these dark post-coronavirus nights.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Hey, can I press the key?
yeah, just if you press spacebar, not sure what it'll do. Yeah, I did nothing just now, but if you see, I can
this key.
put text. But yeah, last night I stayed up till very early in the morning. Well, very late in the morning, really.
Yeah, you
Making
were
this
up late.
making this background over here.
Oh, is this your first stream?
No, I've done a number of streams before. If you check out the YouTube video channel linked to by my Twitch bio, you can see that.
Yeah. All right.
You can see that I have some old VODs uploaded and a couple of clips of me talking about various things.
Yeah.
It's just random rants about stuff like Dark Souls and Zelda. Well, I kind of AFK here, so
Yeah.
yeah, they're technically VODs and streams of this clips of this game, but
Yeah.
it's a loose category. So if you ever
Yeah.
want more Mushin Eigen content,
Yeah. No.
feel free to watch my clips.
Yeah,
Feel free to
definitely.
tune in, ask me funny questions in chat, or
Yeah.
even knock on my door and say hi. As long as,
Yeah.
again, as long as you don't
No names.
dox me. As long as you
Yeah.
don't dox me. But
All
yeah,
right, well, I'll let you get back to
yeah.
your stream, but this is. I think this thing is very cool.
yeah,
What is this, like AI then?
it's called a virtual YouTuber avatar, and YouTube actually had a showcase of them relatively recently.
Yeah.
But essentially, the way I did it is that a Japanese art dissemination site called Pixiv recently put out, a while back actually, a few years ago, put out something called Vroid, which basically lets
Yeah.
you make 3D avatars. And I just use it. It's basically Me Maker, but kind of more anime.
Yeah.
I use more free software called VC Face that lets me basically use my face to puppeteer it. And it's just, it allows me to add in an avatar that doesn't require me to show my face, or
Yeah.
it allows me to stay anonymous and play a little character. It's been a long time since I've been able to really do something like theater. I did a lot of theater back in high school and a little bit of speech and debate, though not really any sort of performance speech and debate, more just speech giving. It wasn't like a drama or a comedy. Yeah, it doesn't have any hand tracking. It's just face tracking.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
see.
that would require paying money for fancy equipment and software.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, I just put it all together, layered them all into OBS, got a little chat widget from online,
Yeah.
pasted them all on an image I made in
Oh, that
Canva,
would
which,
be
yeah, exactly, in Canva, which is basically kind of like a free online version of PowerPoint. Put it all
Yeah.
together, and I got what I'd like to think of as a pretty cute little
That's
stream window over
cool.
there. Yeah. So, if you haven't seen on my Twitter, I've started putting out stream schedules. So,
Yeah.
on weekends, I'll be playing this game.
Yeah.
And various other games, mostly this game. It's just that, this game is one of those funny live service games where you have to log in every day or whatever to just
Yeah.
kind of keep up. And it's a lot of fun, but I have my qualms about the sort of ethics of designing a game like that. But either
Yeah.
way, it ends up being the game I play most of the time. So
Yeah.
I kind of figured if I'm already playing and I have everything I need to stream, I may as well be streaming right now.
Yeah. No, it looks
Yeah. And,
Alright, well,
it gives me
let's-
the opportunity to entertain various people I know and don't
Yeah.
know by just hopping on and talking about who knows what. Yeah, I know. He just bent all over because there's nobody puppeteering him right now. And now I'm back in the driver's seat. Have a fantastic...
Let me say hi. Bye, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, alright.
Have a fantastic evening and good luck with your homework.
You too. Have fun.
Good night, my friend. Yeah. Say hi if you're still here and still hear me, but I I have no map pins left, among other things. But I'm gonna check real quick to see if how many of those materials I got just now. Because I believe there are 43 or so. Oh, I didn't get nearly all of them. I might just let it be a wash and call it a night, but either way, Dehya just needs these funny sandworms in order to level up. It's cool stuff. But yeah, I've been playing around with funny little boys. Yeah, Mr. Estaboy13, are you still in the room? Still with me in the world of the living? Yeah. If I still have one viewer, I would be incredibly pleased if someone were able to make their presence known so I could speak directly to them and engage with them as a cherished member of the Mushin Eigen community. Of course. One cannot force these things. I'm just gonna actually open a window real quick. I'll be right back. Excuse me. Excuse me. There we go. Just a second. You know, I wonder how I look right now. I'm sure that my little guy is bending over far in the corner or something, head just crooked, like he broke his silly little neck or something. You know, honestly, I don't think a VTuber avatars can die in any real sense. But you know, if he was just kind of, if he went on strike or something, he was like, you puppeteer me in such an irresponsible and silly fashion that I'm just quitting. I'm going back to the virtual matrix from which I was spawned, never to see you ever again. But yeah. Life is good. I'm gonna hop back into the sand drome over here and see if there are any pupas I immediately missed. Yeah, either way, I got a decent amount of materials, so I'll be able to put some effort into leveling Dehya. Like I said before, some leaks of the next upcoming patches have possibly evidence that she's going to be getting an equipment/artifact set which will be much better suited for her particular skill set. Yeah. Like I said, I would ideally like to eventually obtain every character in this game, get them to max level, build them up a little, make them cool and strong. Because if you were watching earlier, or even if you weren't, this game lets you roll for weapons as well as characters, but in terms of actually changing the way you play the game and fight, characters are far more impactful, because no matter what sword you're using, essentially, the same character will swing it in the same way. Their hitboxes, their animations will be the same regardless. But if you get something like a new character, that's an entirely new set of animations you're playing with. And yeah, I think that's more or less as many Sandgrease pupas I'm gonna get access to right now. Yeah, if over the next few weeks I unlock more areas in the desert of Hidramaveth, I'll have access to more pupas to pick up, but you win some, you lose some. But just a second. Yeah, life is good. Life is good. Just going to hop back into it and check out the... You know, I really shouldn't have blown up the... Oh, and they're right there. I could go right into the story if I wanted to, but I honestly don't right now. I could get right into that Archon quest, but I won't. But by virtue of destroying that little robot out in front of you, I don't have an easy way to just grab particles to recharge Yeon's burst, so I'm going to have to run out in another funny, silly little direction and do that, making my life marginally harder. Yeah. You see, I live a complicated and tormented life. I have to deal with the specter of charging up my character's supers after using them to blow up a relatively difficult boss in a matter of seconds. Yeah, you would hate to be me. My suffering, my troubles, and my tribulations are truly unmatched the world over. I could be said to be a monument to humanity's determination in the face of struggle. For legal and other reasons, this is entirely a joke. But let's see. Yeah, but like I said earlier, she's one of the more interestingly written female characters in the game because a lot of them are just kind of stock, sort of, appeal to lowest common denominator, make your audience a little thirsty sort of deal. But, Dehya's a heroic character who has real resolve, has some degree of interesting character behavior, maybe not development, just an interesting way of being in the setting in the game world. What am I even trying to level right now? I feel so silly. Just need to... Okay, I think I was checking if I could even level her. I was tired already, and I went to my dorm's 21 plus event and just had a bit of wine. All in all, it's a pretty eventful night, and considering that even though I rolled on the wrong banner, I ended up winning 50-50, which, like I said, is not something you can guarantee, and getting the characters I won at the end, it was honestly about as well as it could have been. I'm happy about how things turned out. Okay, we're gonna try this out right here. Okay, there we go. Make sure she gets her stuff back. Oh, that was unpleasant. Well, yeah, I forgot the Shinobu switch because I forgot what button she was. Well, at least this is probably going to get rid of him anyway. All those hyper blooms are going to come crashing down on their heads. Oh, goodness me. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I will say, this may have been a little bothersome, but this is, frankly, a more interesting way of doing this fight. Yeah. I'm gonna refresh my stats real quick to see if anyone's still here. May not be. Again, my single, lovely, beautiful viewer. I'm sure you're an incredibly pleasant person to be around and talk to, so I would be incredibly pleased if you said something in chat so I could engage with you instead of simply talking at the wall and the screen and the ghost living in my college dorm room. Yeah. Ah. Oh no. Oh no. I think I might have to go and trash some artifacts real fast before this refreshes. Or it might refresh and I might just have to deal with that. Can't say it would be the worst way for things to happen. So let's toss them into a artifact strongbox. And what will we do? I think we'll go for Blizzard Strayer as usual. Because there's a decent amount of characters who would like to use Blizzard Strayer, and like I said earlier, I at least plan to eventually use every character in the game. At least plan to. So we are going to scroll down to our gladiator artifacts and toss out anything with any circlet that isn't EM or attack. Just EM attack. No. EM or crit. I feel so silly right now. That's straight out. That is not straight out. Again, it might be a little inadvisable for me to be doing an important process where I could be getting rid of important, useful gear that I would like to have at a later date. Well, impaired in multiple ways. So, that one's not good. Frankly, I can afford to be picky because nobody wants HP circlets anyway, and certainly not glad users. Let's see, elemental recharge, that's complicated. That's really complicated. That's so complicated. I can get rid of enough stuff just like this. Just like this. Can I? I'm gonna have to scroll down to Sands and do it from there. Any Sands that does not attack and does not meet some very funny, silly, and unspecified number of criteria is going straight in the bin. Straight in the bin. Yeah. This game is not nearly as bad as EVE Online, but if you really want to make the most out of your characters, you have to do at least a little bit of math. You at least need to know how to check a fan-made spreadsheet. And that might not be too crazy, but it's not exactly nothing. There are still plenty of players who just don't bother and just slap whatever artifacts they got in the characters they have for pure stat bonuses just because they don't see it as worth their effort. And like I said, I frankly don't blame them. In the end, this is a game after all, and if you're not having fun with it, it's probably better to either just ditch it or find a way to have fun. Again, I'm not gonna hate on people for not being as much of a quote-unquote hardcore Genshinner as me. Perish the thought. So, yeah. The funny, silly anime game where, yeah. I'd like to make it known for any possible new viewers that I don't have any kind of prurient interest in the gratuitously designed female characters of this game. I like the gameplay and the story and the plot line, and, getting to run around as, cool dudes with magic powers, and, yeah, God forbid I use the term self-insert. I think that's a bit strong, but I think you get what I'm trying to say in the sense that my interest in this game is verified, dignified, and unimpeachable as compared to those mere insects who play this game for the satisfaction of prurient interests. Yeah. In case the one viewer is actually multiple people in my dorm, and now it's back. Now that boss is back. Multiple people in my dorm watching on a single device. I would say, I'm glad you're all entertained enough to be all watching me at the same time. But if you give me the small courtesy of a follow on one of my various accounts, you can watch me anytime, anywhere, without any kind of restrictions. It would be so awesome. It would be so cool. There we go. And he is absolutely pummeling. But yeah, this character is named Al-Haytham, and interestingly enough, he's a reference to Ibn al-Haytham, who is a guy from the history of the Muslim world. He was an early pioneer in the fields of optics and physics. Forget what he did with physics, but I believe what he did with optics is some early work on lenses. What this guy basically just said was something about his shoes getting dirty. Yeah. But we will trigger a funny little elemental reaction here, and now... Okay, now that means that whenever... Wait, I might not have even grabbed the rewards there. That's silly. But yeah. Oh, Haytham's a fun character to run around with. His kit is kind of visually or deceptively optically similar to another character named Kaching, who's kind of like the other half of the equation for him, because he deals a lot of damage by combining the electrical and plant elements, Electro and Dendro, and she does it kind of in reverse. She's an electric character who uses that same kind of sort of reaction, which is cool. It's nice that they fulfill a similar kind of character archetype despite coming at it from opposite angles. But they're a bit more different kinds of characters than you might expect, in the sense that Kaching is a bit more flexible, because she just gets... The way she deals a lot of damage is by basically putting an elemental effect on her sword. Oh, skydiving? I would personally never really engage in skydiving, and I know what you want. I'm not going to say it because I'd like to maintain at least a modicum of family friendliness on this stream. But skydiving is interesting. I read something about like a minor celebrity who... Her whole deal was being incredibly kind of like daring, doing incredibly dangerous, silly, wacky things so she could tell her fans about all the dangerous, wacky things she did. And because of that, she had to end up doing... Like, she never got injured, but she had this sort of ambivalence, because she had to end up doing stuff like bungee jumping. I forget who, but she had to end up doing stuff like bungee jumping and skydiving, even though she didn't really have much of an interest in doing it all in and of itself, just because she wanted to have, or more accurately, she felt like she had to have stories to tell her fans and viewers. And, you know, it's objectively hilarious for me as someone with 20 followers on Twitch to think, you know, maybe sometimes I do things in my life because I want people to be entertained by the stories I tell. But that's not entirely untrue. Like, yeah, this game, oh, it's basically, it's called Genshin Impact. It's a game with a weird and silly reputation. It's a Chinese video game, though now published by Singapore because of American laws regarding China, or at the very least, anticipation that America might severely increase its economic pressure against China and make various Chinese products inaccessible or severely restricted, patterned after Japanese anime and with cultural influences from all over the world. In particular, there are four main areas in the game right now. You have the first area you go to called Mondstadt, which is sort of a pastiche of European fantasy, based vaguely off of Germany, France, and Switzerland. The architecture specifically of this windmill city that you have in the center, the titular Mondstadt, is based very much off of I believe it's based off of Bern in Switzerland. And then you have Liyue, which is basically a Chinese setting, sort of based vaguely off of wuxia, which is basically Chinese fantasy fiction. And then you have Inazuma, which literally means thunderbolt in Japanese. It's, the obligatory anime, kind of Japan region. You have your yokai, which are basically Japanese mythological beasts, and all sorts of, the standard tropes. Don't get me into what I think about them. You might receive some heated remarks. But then you also have the current region, Sumeru, and if you see all these markers I made, it's because I denoted off each individual area so that I can, when I have more time in my life to go through and explore these areas, collecting treasure chests and doing quests, gradually get rid of them one by one. Because as you see at the bottom, you have an exploration progress marker, 100% for a lot of areas. Hello, Mr. Griffin 78787. I'm telling your possible friend Danny Wood 88 about the various cultural influences in this game. And Sumeru is really, really interesting in particular. I haven't gotten to explore as much of it as I'm out of light just because I'm so busy with school. But it's based vaguely off of, these are friends from my college. Not to docs, forgive me, not saying that much, but these are a couple of the guys who came in earlier and said hello. But Sumeru is based off of a lot of things. It's based a bit off of India, a bit off of Persia. And these areas, they're based vaguely off of Egypt and the Middle East. Well, given that your username is Griffin, I can only assume your name is Griffin. Maybe you're just a big medieval fantasy enthusiast who likes the mythological beast called the Griffin, Head of an eagle, body of a horse. Yeah, what can I say? Don't say my name, I'm anonymous. Don't say my name, I'm anonymous. Excuse me. Hello.
Yeah.
How you doing? I figured. He's a friend of mine. He's a friend of.
Oh no!
He's a friend of a friend of a friend.
Wait, he's calling
Go
me.
away!
Fair enough. Well, in that case, feel free to refute him with logical arguments in chat. I'll get right back to it. But essentially, Sumeru is based off of a lot of various different kind of culture influences, and you might consider it a little bit discriminatory that something like that Japan and China each get one each that's entirely pure. Then that's a little debatable because China's really big, and this area of the chasm that they added recently, in a lot of its in-game lore, they added connections to sort of China-adjacent areas like Mongolia. The idea of it's odd to explain. Yeah, it was connected to sort of horseback archery type people, areas sort of in the Chinese cultural sphere of influence that aren't China. So they're kind of expanding that, and one of the areas in Inazuma, Surumi Island, is based off of the culture of the Ainu, who are sort of a Japanese-adjacent people who aren't exactly Japanese who live in Japan. So I think they do a pretty good job of drawing from disparate cultural influences and incorporating them in interesting ways, which is actually really interesting because there are some implications in lore that this is sort of a future Earth kind of setting, in the sense that Tevat is the name of the setting of the world, and it literally means ark. It's kind of grammatically incorrect, but in Hebrew it means ark. So there's an implication that it's sort of a cultural preservation project of a dying Earth or something along that. We don't know enough details to know for sure, but it would explain why so many cultural aspects get synthesized in weird and interesting ways. Oh, Dark Souls? I actually thought about playing it earlier. I have DSLR on my Switch Lite, but the Switch Lite cannot do any kind of streaming or card capture. Once I get back to my actual home back in Indianapolis, I would consider... I know, it sucks. I think I might like to get a capture card, pick something up, when I have more time, because like I said, I spent a lot of time on this game because this game kind of... I got Stockholm Syndrome. This game likes me to spend time on it. it's hard for me to find time to play other games, but smaller games that I picked up in the Steam sale, like Wizard of Legend or Fury, I could probably fit in on weekends. I think I'm trying to finish up certain content in this game, so when I make schedules next week, or maybe when I'm just hopping on playing games, yeah, like I said, check my schedule. Yeah, more like Narc Souls, what can I say? Frog. I might put, if you have any requests for things for me to play, feel free to make recommendations and I might be able to fit them into the stream schedule. But either way, I'm glad that people seem to be so enamored. But yeah, this desert area, because there's a division between the desert and the grassland, the forest. This is based a bit off of Arabia, Saudi Arabia, a bit off of Egypt. And in this area, which I haven't revealed yet, there's a lot of influence from Judaism, from the Hebrew Bible. The entire quest line of this area is called the Dirge of Bilqis, which is the name in Jewish tradition of the Queen of Sheba, who is a character in the Hebrew Bible with a connection to King Solomon, who gives him riddles, maybe becomes one of his wives. It's a complicated situation, but they incorporate a lot of interesting things. A lot of the quest names and art achievement names for this area are literally just Bible quotations, some of them Quran quotations. Yeah, I've been taking a theology class of comparative religion of the Quran and the Bible this semester, and it's been funny to see a lot of connections. Like, in particular, one of the readings mentioned this area is called the Desert of Hadramada, if you can't see because I haven't revealed it yet. You know, it refers to an area in Saudi Arabia that got referred to in one of my readings. The ruins of Dari and the Valley of Dari refers to the Dari, who were essentially Muslim atheists in the early time of Islam, who believed that Dari, or Al-Dar, which basically means time, was the only thing that really... Hello, Griffin78787's roommate with the beard. I'm glad that you were able to tune in and say hi. I hope you're enjoying the experience of watching me explain the cultural influences upon a Chinese anime-style video game. But, as I was saying, they're based off of... The name is based off of essentially Muslim atheists who believe that only time ruled the world. And that was brought up in one of my Quran class readings. And it's funny how they incorporate that into the lore, because these ruins are implied to be of this sort of destroyed nation in the lore who famously fought against the gods of the setting. And there's just a lot of really, really, really cool stuff to see. A lot of really cool stuff to see if you know the cultural influences, or even if you're curious and you just... Hello again to Griffin78787's roommate with the beard who says hi. I'm glad you were able to tune in, or at least look over his shoulder. I've been explaining the various cultural influences and references in this funny Chinese-produced... Oh, Fortnite? I apologize. I'm not a huge multiplayer shooter guy. I have some toxic tendencies that tend to come out when I play multiplayer shooters. Earlier in the semester, I played a decent amount of Splatoon 3. I would go for the Doomslayer skin, I'm sorry to say. Played a lot of Splatoon 3 and I had a decent amount of fun, but I had to quit just because I was getting too heated and it wasn't fun anymore. I was getting too toxic, and it's just sort of, this isn't an enjoyable experience. Instead of having fun, I'm getting mad, I'm yelling and even swearing at random people on the other side of the world on their screen, and it's just... It wasn't edifying or particularly fun. I don't think anyone was better off for it. Like, in the end, you know, maybe if someone else, you know, makes collaboration content with me and they want to play a multiplayer shooter, I'd do it with them and for them. Oh, thoughts on skydiving? I was talking about it earlier, and the story actually got cut off, but... I'm aware of the joke you want me to tell. In the interest of maintaining a relatively family-friendly environment, I'm not telling it. But honestly, you're not entirely wrong. Thinking back on it, Splatoon 1 was the best. Splatoon 2 was at least capable. But Splatoon 3 is just kind of uninspired. The maps feel a lot smaller because of the movement options they added. It's just... as someone who really enjoyed the first Splatoon and played a lot of it, it's sort of a how the mighty have fallen. Yeah, maybe I'll turn my chat filter up next time, but I don't predict it giving me any kind of penalty in the YouTube advertisement appropriateness when I upload the VOD. But like I was saying, oh well, I've been getting... You can either get 2 or 3 of these specific kind of items when you fight a world boss. It gives you items that you need to level up your characters. And usually, yeah, you can get variably 2 or 3. So it's nice that I've gotten lucky with my rolls. But yeah. Let me switch stuff around. But yeah, it's interesting, yeah. You have all these characters. Most of these I have leveled up to some extent, kitted out with equipment. And yeah, the backbone of this game's combat system is essentially elemental reactions. You have characters who can use stone, plants, wind, ice, electricity, water, fire. They all interact in interesting ways. You know, in an ethical sense, I have a difficult time recommending this game just because it's a very large time sink. But I do have fun with it, and I think it can be fun to watch because it makes it easier for people to cut out the boring bits. But what I was saying about skydiving is that there was a minor celebrity, I forget her name, who her whole deal was being funny and quirky and telling her viewers stories about her being funny and quirky. And energy recharge, that's really nice. And even though she didn't really want to do it, she had to end up doing stuff like bungee jumping and skydiving, risky things that she wasn't fond of and didn't even really enjoy. Yes, it was famous Albanian nationalist and enemy of Serbia, Dua Lipa. But things that she didn't want to do and didn't even really enjoy, I guess, just because she had to keep upping the quirkiness game. And I have, 21 followers. I'm nowhere near close enough, but I do feel sometimes I do things because I'm sort of, it would be a funny story to tell people. And, there's a balance in which that's healthy. It's good to have other people in mind when you take action in life one way or the other. Even impressing people can be good. Reputation is a tool in the end. And you can use that to help people make the right decision. You can use your bully pulpit, or you can use it to just be an egotistical jerk. But let me finish the story first. Last semester, on a lark, I drank, being of legal age, mind you, wine combined with milk, a combination I refer to as wilk. And it tasted terrible, but it was a funny story to tell. Yeah, corn is really good. Here on campus, there are a couple of pizzas that one of our on-campus restaurants, one of the premium restaurants, sells, and both of them have roasted corn in them, and it's really good. The flavor of roasted corn is really, really unique. You get a bit of earthiness, and I was telling Esteboy, who does not attend the same university as us. Yeah, popcorn's good too. I think a lot of feels weird to say standard popcorn, but a lot of the popcorn you can get on the market is it's got a bunch of artificial butter flavor that can taste chemically or just be otherwise off-putting. And but good popcorn, yeah, my mother picks up for me when she gets me care packages and stuff, this quote-unquote Amish country popcorn that often has a bit of chili powder oil on it. It just goes really hard. It isn't exactly healthy, but there's a bit less chemical to it. You grow homegrown popcorn? Yeah, that's interesting. Hello to Griffin78787's other roommate. But yeah, microwave popcorn. You gotta be discerning. In the end, whenever you're buying anything, it's way too easy to fall into one of two traps while buying something. Hello to Esteboy13's dog. Either buying the cheapest possible thing because you want to be stingy, or the most expensive possible thing because you think it's good. It does take time, but for the quote-unquote best possible consumer experience, it's good to, just pay attention to the actual quality of the product and then the cost and see whether it's worth it for you. Sometimes it can be good to spend more for a better product. Sometimes it can be good to spend less and accept some of the less quality to save money. But it's something you have to evaluate on a case-by-case basis instead of just saying, always buy expensive, always buy cheap. Yeah. The first time I ever spent a huge amount of money was when I spent a lot of the cash I got from my summer job last summer, which, call me Mr. Moneybags over here, but I spent about $2,000 to buy the parts for this PC. And I think it was personally worth it because I don't spend huge amounts of money, and this was it might be a luxury, but it'll be a luxury that'll last me for at least the next decade. I'm honestly more interested in retro games than modern game most of the time. This is a modern game. It's a live service game that gets updated on a highly regular basis, but it's not that performance demanding. If I was playing something like Crysis or God forfend, Forspoken, I would be in a bad spot even with this rig, to say no less of quote-unquote AAA games, or quadruple A, if that's a thing, decade down the line, but this will work for me for a decade. I won't have to buy any computer or anything for a decade. Atomic Heart, I'll see if I can pick it up. There's a lot of controversy surrounding that game that I won't get into, and, you know, suffice it to say that maybe in a couple of years when everything dies down. But as I was saying, I felt it was a good purchase. I just kind of thought about it, and like I should have, honestly, I had some reservations. I had to think about it and be like, is it worth spending $2,000 even on something I know I'll use and get use out of? Because it's still $2,000. It's not, might not break the bank, but it's a chunk of change that I could use for something like a car or a down payment on an apartment or a house. You know, I had to think about the future and think about how I wanted my money to be used, what I thought a good use of my money was. And I think I thought about it pretty well. I haven't regretted buying this computer so far. I've had a lot of fun about it, and like I'm doing right now, I'm able to... Ooh. I don't have anything that could do that, and that would also mean I wouldn't be able to upload the VOD to YouTube, because I get flagged for copyrighted material. But, like I was saying, I've been able to entertain people, make people happy, connect with people, even people who are far away, just by streaming video games. You know what? There isn't a huge amount for me to really do right now until my resin refreshes. Maybe, well, slightly sauced up, I'll just finish the 4th part of that main story quest. We're gonna get into some impromptu karaoke. I never really knew that she could dance like this. She make a man want to speak Spanish. Me se llama bonita casa su casa. Oh, baby, when you talk like that, you make a woman go mad. So be wise and keep on reading the signs of my body. I'm on tonight, you know my hips don't lie. I'm starting to feel it's right. The attraction, the tension. See, baby, this is perfection. Okay, that's the only part of the song I know. Yeah, So, honest question. Shakira, baby, what can I say? You know, for the longest time, this is going to be incredibly silly. Feel free to clip this from the Twitch VOD and make me unhireable. But, you know, Shakira speaks Spanish, and she's literally from South America. But for the longest time, I was kind of confused. I was like, is she from, like, South Africa, where the only white people from Africa really are? Because she went really hard in this sort of This One's for Africa, African charity relief. I just didn't know enough about her at that point. I think I must have been like 8 or 9. And I was like, oh yeah, you know, South African musical artist, Shakira or whatever. Looking back on it, it was a very funny and silly thing to assume. But that's literally what I thought. You know, I think that's what I thought. At the very least, I could see a younger Eigen making that kind of very silly assumption. I don't know. But yeah. But I'm gonna... I believe the Secret of the Scorching Desert is an option for me to play right now. Well, actually, you know what? Let's go for it. I still need to do my commissions. No, my bounties and my requests. Yeah, good night, Griffin. I'm glad you were able to hop on stream. I'm glad you were able to hop in stream. I always appreciate the dudes taking interest in the things I do and joining the Mushin Eigen community. Yeah. So, Mr. Estaboy13, I'll stay on and do things for the entertainment of my good viewers. For invulnerability to animo damage, come on. But like I was saying, always happy to do interesting things for my viewers, so as long as you'd like to make conversation and watch, feel free to stay on, but as soon as you hop off, I think I'll be hopping off. I have things that I'd like to do, but also, you know, it's also nice to get some sleep every now and then, but do not decide one way or the other on my account. So I'm going to switch out my team real quick. I think we're going to trot the funny and silly. Yeah, in 15 minutes. That'll give me enough time to do all my requests and bounties. Yeah. in order to get all my stuff in order here, I gotta wait for my resin to recharge up to 40. So that'll be a little while. So I'm just waiting for that to all happen. Let's see. Oh, that... Oh, I've been using this team in a slightly different fashion than I usually do, which means the rotations are a little off, because usually I have Shinobu in the first slot, and usually I don't have her dead. That is a failure mode. But like I said, I usually have her in the first slot, so what I try to do is essentially... I did not see that Papa Techie has stopped uploading about Genshin. I have stopped paying attention to good old Papa Techie in general. But like I was saying, I usually keep Shinobu in the first slot and just switch her in by pressing 1 during Alhaitham's burst and then switch him out so that you can get everything that is good in the world is in a cute little buff to his damage while also not... Is it daytime? Is it nighttime? Did the ornamental fish just up and disappear on me? I'd be less than happy if that's true. There we go. Nice lotuses. Yeah, in the end... I think I did get the impression from what I saw of him that it was a matter of convenience, that he... And to be a certain extent, as a streamer, you live and die by the algorithm. If you make things that people aren't interested in watching... people will stop watching your stuff, and you won't be able to maintain a living as a quote-unquote content creator. That's just how things happen. But as I was saying... What was I saying? I think in the end, if you stream stuff you actually like, you'll make better content in the end, because your enthusiasm will shine through. You know, I went on that silly little ramble about the cultural influences of Genshin Impact and how they played into the classes I was taking about university. And believe me, I wouldn't have been able to make any kind of discussion like that if I hadn't been interested in the game as a game. And as, you know, a subject of lore analysis, but you get what I'm trying to say. It's difficult to feign interest in something forever. Even if you have a financial incentive to do it, the cracks start to show. I unironically like this game. I like it way more than could ever be considered healthy. But it also means that, frankly, as long as I keep liking it, and I think I will unless my own taste drastically change, because, like I've said in the past, the incentive structure of a live service game is different. You can keep making your existing fans happy by making variations on the same kind of thing, and if they stay around, you'll keep making money. You don't need to just constantly keep attracting new customers, because instead of just having to be like, okay, people pay, one time they pay $60 for the game, if you want more money, you have to attract more people who didn't already like the game. But with a live service game, you can keep getting people, the same people that keep paying in. What is he making now? I've never been subscribed to Tectone, so I have no clue what's going on in Tectone world. Yeah. As in Mtashid, as in if Mtashid quit Genshin, or just screwed in general because you perceive a kind of Genshin slump? That's the question I have for you. Yeah. Yeah, if he quit Genshin, yeah. That's the same for someone like Zajaf, who is just a Genshin content creator, first and foremost, nothing else really. Yeah, say what you will about me. I'd like to think that I have at least a little personality. You know, maybe all I have is personality. There's no physical body behind the screen, just an AI construct puppeteering a VTuber avatar. Nothing but pure personality here. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah. His personality is calling your artifacts bad and calling your account bad and then being oblivious when people get mad at him for saying that. That's the Tectone personality. What's interesting is maybe it's different in the Chinese, which is the actual original version. And like I've said before, the relationship between the various languages of the game is a complicated one. But as I was saying, they don't say Favonius in the Japanese version. They say Golden Fisher. It's not Favonius Fishcatcher Extraordinaire or anything related to Favonius at all. So it's very funny to see. I'm loud and dishonest. I lie through my teeth. Even that was a lie. I'm honest, and I lied just now. Yeah. You encounter two guards. One always tells the truth, and one always lies. How do you know which way to go on the road? I mean, the real answer is just literally torturing the answers out of them. But I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Yeah. Semi-Rochin for... Oh, is he doing Final Fantasy XIV content now? Is that what he's doing? It's crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure it out in the future. But for the purpose of YouTube uploads, I think I might have to up the profanity filter a little. Like, don't feel bad about it. I'll just get rid of it in post. But for future reference. Vulnerable to Geodan. Oh, sword-wielding characters. Looks like a confirmed Alhaitham moment. Looks like he's just gonna go mad. Yeah, there we go. There we go. It's Eremites, Eremites, Eremites. Eremites, Eremites, Eremites. So, the Varnicot's white iron chunks. Say no more. Yeah. But this weekend, when I have time to just grind this game out, I'm going to try to do a significant quantity, at least, of the remaining Archons and main story quests in this game. It's been 3 patches since the Scaramouche weekly boss came out, and I haven't unlocked it, which is very funny because it's severely limited the characters who I can actually level up for anything. It's a less than ideal situation. Okay, that... I don't even know what's going on at this point. It's just not working right. Well, at least I'll probably be able to just let him get blown up by the bloom cores, and yeah, there we go. Everything worked out in the end. Even without the hyper blooms. Yeah. It is interesting because you can kind of go EM with Kaching, but Alhaitham has a lot more scaling with his elemental mastery, so you're more heavily incentivized to build his EM. So Alhaitham right now has 426, and with Nida's burst up, he gets like 600, which is crazy for someone who's still dealing damage based off of crits. The only time you'd normally get to that high EM with the characters that they're just doing a pure transformative reaction build and don't need pure damage stats. You know, I would consider it, except... family-friendly content, The Sopranos. Well, the message of the Sopranos, in the end, is go to therapy. I'm not sure exactly how family-friendly that is, but, you know, it's content, that's for sure. So let's switch this out, actually. Oh, that's complicated. Not sure how much I like that. Yeah, Shinobu, and then, yeah, there we go. Everything works out in the end. Eigen always wins. I didn't say that. Before I forget, let's put another glider on Dehya. You know, she won't get her actual glider that I actually want to use on her until Natland, but the gold one works well enough. Let's see. There we go. Nice and golden. Yeah, Dehya is literally... Her character title is Oris Blaze, which literally means golden fire. Yeah, she really is the Sakata Kintoki FGO of Genshin Impact. Would you happen to agree with me? Would you happen to agree? I think I'm speaking only straight facts here. There we go. And there we... Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, she's just clean with it. She's goated. She's goated with the sauce. What can I say? Women who are quirked up white boys goated with the sauce. I think that's an important topic of intellectual discussion that people don't pay enough attention to. The fact that women can also be quirked up white boys goated with the sauce. Are you simply dumbfounded, awestruck with No way to respond. Mario Super Sluggers, I've never played it myself, but for whatever reason, whenever I hear people talk about Mario Super Sluggers, they always talk about the Koopa Troopa. Not sure why. But let's see. Come on. Come on. Oh, okay, just a second. Let's go for that Ruin Drake Maelstrom. Oh wow, that's actually incredibly conveniently close. Praise be to the Lord. Yeah. Like I said, I wouldn't know because I haven't played either. The first exposure I got to Mario Super Strikers, and you may laugh, is the death battle video of Princess Peach versus Princess Zelda that had Peach winning because of her big super attack in Mario Strikers Charged. The one where she turns into an angel or something and just kicks a fiery soccer ball. And they're like, yeah, that would blow Zelda's head up. You know, I don't know how I feel about the fact that that's true, but that's incredibly true. Wow, these Ruin Drakes are a bit harder to fight than I originally thought they'd be. Yeah, it's just a matter of not having my entire arsenal with me right now, I think. Let's go there, let's go there. And yeah, let's go for that. Oh, complicated. Yeah. One of the things I remember from Death Battle is the battle between every Link. And that's a pretty inherently funny one. The Reckless Eremites are raging. Did they lose the 50-50 or something? Yeah. So, oh, that's going to be a bit of a climb. Makes me wish I had Scaramouche with me. I forget whether I saw that one or not. All I know is that Kirby won, which, fair. It wasn't explicitly claimed at the time, but Kirby has always been insanely strong. In Planet Robobot, they literally said he had literally infinite power. You may have heard of that before, but yeah, Kirby has been explicitly stated to be literally infinitely powerful. You know, good for him. Someone has to do it. There we go. Yeah, just... Oh, hit him with the quicken spread and a little bit of Hyper Bloom. Man has it. Man has it. Kirby, I would say the strongest Nintendo character has got to be either Kirby or Shulk. Which makes it really funny that Shulk is basically the only good Kirby copy ability in Smash. The only time Kirby was arguably a good character at all in Smash is when he's swallowed Shulk. Yeah, well, it is kind of complicated considering that Xenoblade is technically the quote-unquote latest entry in the Xeno series, which until Xenoblade was only on consoles not named Nintendo. Yeah. But, yeah, because Shulk basically becomes a god at the end of his game. Kirby is always essentially a god. Literally eats gods for breakfast. Just, yeah, and has literally been stated to have infinite power. Yeah, I have no qualms saying that Kirby is the strongest Nintendo character. Yeah, that's gonna make things a bit more difficult. It's like I said, I'm glad I got Dehya, because I could have easily just lost the 50-50. There's a chance where... Yeah. I think that's more of a saying of another one of our friends. It should have ended at a Xenogears re-release with more interesting out-of-suit combat and faster, with a speed-up function. I think that's what he would have said. But... It is interesting, because it is kind of implied that Shulk isn't all-powerful, because the world of Xenoblade 3 is sort of a combination of the worlds of 1 and 2, which is partially done by Shulk's. There's spoilers, but it's because of what he does at the end of Xenoblade 1, where he becomes a god. But Xeno, and including Xenoblade, is a very Gnostic game series, which includes having gods that aren't supposed to be all-powerful. So it makes sense that the world of Xenoblade 3, despite being literally formed by a god, is still imperfect, even if that god is Shulk. But basically, yeah, I guess it nominally makes it a little harder to get back up to soft pity, and hopefully get Shenhei or Ayaka during this patch, but We'll see about it. It just means I need to do a bunch of world exploration and get more resin. I mean, more primogems. Yeah, but before I forget, before I go silly, I'm gonna add Dehya to Teapot. I gotta add Dehya to Teapot so I don't forget and just not. Yeah, okay. Fairly well, Mr. Estaboy13, as you are my last viewer, and it doesn't look like people are gonna pop back in anytime soon. I think that means an end to my stream for the night. Well, got 3 followers today. I think that's progress. In case you're still here, good night. Sayonara again. God bless. Time to... Dehya's going right in the teapot. Right in the teapot. Good night. Good night.